Hey everyone, welcome to Taste Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we talking about tonight? Well, the Joystick Awards, the Golden Joystick Awards PC Gamer puts on every year, much like the Video Game Awards, but it's their own version of it, has come off. And the winner that took home most of the trophies was Baldur's Gate 3. Basically Baldur's Gate 3 gobbled up 5 awards from London today at the Golden Joystick Awards. They won Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design, Best Game Community, PC Game of the Year, and Ultimate Game of the Year. So 2 Game of the Year awards, PC Game of the Year and Ultimate Game of the Year. Additionally, Lorraine won Studio of the Year. And actor Neil Newbon also won Best Supporting Performer for his role as Baldur's Gate 3 companion Astarion. I think that was the wizard guy in there. So, basically, counting those two, Baldur's Gate 3 won a record 7 Golden Joystick Awards. The only game besides Baldur's Gate 3 to win multiple awards this year was Final Fantasy 16. It won Best Audio, and actor Ben Starr, who won Best Lead Performer for his performance as Clive in Final Fantasy 6 Clive Rosfield. Other 2023 Golden Joystick winners include Alan Wake 2, which took home the Critics' Choice Award, and Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, which won Best Expansion. This year's other giant RPG, Starfield, won Xbox's Game of the Year. And see, we have some other winners here. Let's see what else. A lot of other winners. No Man's Sky won Still Playing Award. Sea of Stars won Best Indie Game. Best VR game was Horizon Call of the Mountain. Best multiplayer game was Mortal Kombat 1. Best audio, Final Fantasy 16, which I think I've already said that one. Best game trailer was Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Best streaming game was Valorant. Best gaming hardware, PSVR 2. Breakthrough Award. I don't know what the Breakthrough Award is, but whatever. It was Cocoon, I guess, because you're breaking out of the cocoon. No, that's probably not what the award means. But best, let's see, we already did that one. So Nintendo Game of the Year, Tears of the Kingdom. I got Nintendo's Game of the Year. PlayStation Game of the Year. Do you want to guess what that one is, Shane? Do you want to guess what that one is?
I'm gonna have to say, don't know. Probably God of War.
You would think, right? That came out this year, did it not? Ragnarok?
Yeah, Ragnarok came out early in the year.
Did it? I honestly can't remember. Everything's starting to blend together. No game. Ragnarok came out in November 9th of 2022.
Son of a gun.
I know, right? Well, you think like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is, Spider-Man 2, you would think would be.
But it just released, so they probably. I can't think of anything between the two.
Well, the best PlayStation Game of the Year for the Golden Joystick Awards went to Resident Evil 4.
That seems extremely odd.
It does.
It's a great game. I mean, it's great. Goddamn.
But out of all the PlayStation games, that's the one that they chose.
A remake. Well,
it's a great game, but you would think they would have chosen like an actual like PlayStation only title. Right.
Yes.
And not a multi-platform, right? Because Resident Evil 4.
Because they could have said the same thing. That could have been the Xbox.
That could have been Xbox's, right? But they chose Starfield.
PC.
So that's a weird thing.
But see, PlayStation doesn't, not like Xbox does at all. But PlayStation doesn't have that many exclusives out this year.
True.
I mean, still probably double.
But they have more than Xbox, so
yeah, easily. So I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. The most wanted game was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then of course the ultimate game of the year, like I said, went to Baldur's Gate. So there you go. I mean, there was a lot of games that were nominated. Best storytelling had games such as Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Armored Core 6 as an example of those. Best visual design had Starfield, Lies of P, Street Fighter 6. So I don't know. Best visual design, I guess I don't know about Starfield being in there, but whatever. But I mean, basically that was all the winners though, who won their various things. But Baldur's Gate 3, which we all assumed would, that game brought about a lot of hubbub on the internets, and it's a great game. I played it. We've all played it, so it's a great game. It deserves the awards, the accolades that it gets. So it doesn't surprise me that it got what it got, right? So what do you think of all of that? What do you think of all the winners, Shane?
Well, I would agree with quite a few of them. The Resident Evil 4 one for PlayStation kind of throws me off. But that's just because it is a multi-platform game. But they also have Mortal Kombat 1 as best multiplayer. Great game. Love that game. I truly think that's a fantastic game. I've completed it. My son destroys me at it. You destroyed me at it. So that's the only part I don't like is the ass whoopings I get from it. But I don't see I don't know. I really don't even consider that a multiplayer game. It's multiplayer to me is more than 1v1. That's just the way I see it. But there's some in here that are just no brainers. Baldur's Gate, no brainer. I mean, if it didn't dominate, I would have been just shocked. But still playing award for No Man's Sky, I think that's worth it. I don't play it anymore. But I like that the creators kept that game going, made that game to what they promised it would be, even though it came out at a rocky start and blah, blah, blah. So that to me is fantastic. And game expansion for Cyberpunk, definitely well worth it. I have, and I'm going off word of mouth because I have been trying to play through the single player from the original content, because when the game first released, it was such a broken turd. It just broke my heart and I couldn't play it. And a lot of the other awards, Critics' Choice Award, Alan Wake 2, hells yeah. I just gotta love that game. Just love that game. And I am, I'm playing through the crap out of this thing again, and I love it. But the whole Resident Evil 4 thing still throws me off. Starfield being Xbox Game of the Year, I think that's a no-brainer as well, because they don't really have anything. I mean, it wasn't going to be Redfall. And it wasn't going to be, oh yeah, that's it. So, I mean, that's a gimme. But Resident Evil, that's kind of a surprise. Most wanted game. I don't know if I would honestly say Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Don't get me wrong, I want to play it, but I was kind of burned by the first by remake, just because there was so much filler content, even though the game itself was great. Shut up, Nick. I'm right. There was nothing but filler. But I am excited for it, but I don't know if that's the game I'm most excited for. So, but I don't think I'm really that excited for much of anything right now, because this last several years, I've been burnt on a lot of games I've been wanting to play. So, but yeah, I think if any game deserved all the accolades that it got, it's definitely going to be Baldur's Gate. And I think all these other developers need to watch what they do, because Baldur's Gate is the way you create and release a game. You create it solid, You create it filled, you create it right, and then you get it out there. You don't half-ass it, send it out, charge for the fix, and then make everybody else freaking, beta test the damn thing, you bastards. But other than that, way to go, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
You get the golden thumb.
For it is weird because like for PlayStation Game of the Year, the other nominees were like one of the nominees for that was Final Fantasy 16, which it was an exclusive. I wouldn't call it best PlayStation Game of the Year, but I mean it did only come out on that, right? I mean the only game they have on there that came out just on the PlayStation only was Final Fantasy 16. They have Humanity, but I thought Humanity came out on PC as well.
No, I don't know. I know we played it on
PlayStation,
and it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's a fun puzzle game.
Really like
it's on
game.
Steam too, so it's also a PC game. But Final Fantasy 16 is the only, whereas Xbox's games of the year, well, of course, all their games are on PC, so whatever. But they had other things like Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, which were Xbox exclusive games. So,
well, I guess you would consider because they're not on Steam, they're on the Xbox app. So technically, that's still exclusive to Xbox. I mean, I guess it depends on. Well, the games that they have that are cross-platform.
Well, no, Hi-Fi. I'm pretty sure Hi-Fi Rush was on Steam.
You sure?
I think so. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, it is on Steam. It is on Steam. So, and then Starfield's on Steam. Pentiment. I'm not sure if Pentiment's on Steam. It might be. I think it is actually. I think it's on Steam too. Yeah, it's on Steam. So, like all these games are on Steam as well. So, but I mean, they were exclusive to Xbox's console, right? As far as the consoles go.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation, the only one that was exclusive to the PlayStation console was Final Fantasy 16, which didn't win, which, I mean, that's fine. Whatever. It is a weird one.
I'm perfectly fine with it not winning.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just weird that a multi-platform game is the best PlayStation game. But as far as the ultimate game of the year, most of these games on the ultimate game of the year, I'd say, okay, I could see why they're in there. It seems like some of them they just threw in there for the fun, for the heck of it, because they have like Lords of the Fallen in there as a nominee for ultimate game of the year, which I'm like, I mean, I enjoy that game to a certain extent, but I wouldn't say it's anywhere close to being game of the year. No. Not even nominated. Like if I was making a tier list, it wouldn't even be in my nomination list of game of the year. Like, no.
No, it wouldn't even be close.
No, they even have like Forza Motorsport in there, which they didn't have. I wouldn't even call that game of the year. They have Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I would not go anywhere close to being game of the year.
But see, they have some in here that I fully agree with too.
Yeah, so, I do. They do.
Metroid Prime Remastered, I would put that not very high for game of the year, but I would put that up there. Dead Space, I would definitely put up there.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's freaking amazing. Lords of Fallen shouldn't even be considered a game. That's such a disappointment. Alan Wake 2, God, yes. Resident Evil 4, yes. Star Wars Jedi Survivor,
I wouldn't
really
put it in
good
the game of the year, but
really good game. But
I wouldn't put it in the ultimate game of the year, but I also wouldn't. I'm not mad that it's there. No. Well, it's like Spider-Man 2. I think it would be in a contenders list for a game of the year, but I don't think it would be a winner for game of the year. Now, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, definite game of the year contender. Right, nominee for sure.
Now,
I think Tears of the Kingdom was better than Breath of the Wild, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's some in here that I think they were just padding for the list. You're right. I mean, Lords of the Fallen ain't a god dang way in heck that thing is close to it.
Diablo 4,
no, Diablo 4 can.
It's not game of the
year. Suck a toe. but obviously these are subjective to personalities. I mean, I don't
Right.
know how they
we don't know how
they
pick.
create, how they nominate.
It seems like they just picked like all the big releases this year and throw them into the Ultimate Game of the Year nomination.
Yeah. It's like Street Fighter 6. It's a fun game.
It's a great game.
It's a great game, but it's just not a game of the year game by any means. Now, Armor Core 6, that's another one of those games that are amazing game, but is that a game of the year kind of game? Because the story on those games aren't typically what you play those for. It's the combat and the action. Right. So, I mean, to me, a game of the year has to be a cumulative thing.
I'm not really upset that Armor Core 6 is in that list. I thought it was a really good game. It's just some of them baffle me, like Lords of the Fallen, which I think Lords of the Fallen's an okay game. I think it has too many problems to be considered a game of the year. Assassin's Creed Mirage is like every other Assassin's Creed, so you could just throw every single Assassin's Creed in there and it'd be the same thing. Street Fighter 6, I think, it's a great Street Fighter game, but it's more of the same, right? I mean, Diablo 4, for what content it does have, it's fun, but it needs a lot of work, so I wouldn't even throw it in there, right? I mean, like some of these games, I would say they're content complete and they're really great games, and some of them they're okay games, but they need a lot of work. And
if you were I know we're trying to wrap this, but let me ask you this: you see that list? If you took Baldur's Gate 3 off of that list, it didn't come out, it didn't happen, was never there.
Where'd it go
on that list? What would be what game do you think should take that spot of that list?
What game do I think would take that spot?
Yeah.
I think Tears of the Kingdom would have taken that spot. Not that wouldn't be my pick, but I think that's what would have taken it if Baldur's Gate wasn't in here.
I'm thinking Turds of the Fallen, but everybody's got an opinion.
I think that, I mean, I love Tears of the Kingdom. I thought Tears of the Kingdom was way better than Breath of the Wild, in my opinion. I don't even remember Cocoon. That came out on Game Pass. Apparently it's supposed to be pretty good. I think it was made from the people that made I think it's the people that made those really good games. They're really good games.
You're watching Nick have a brain turd.
Yeah, it's made by okay, it's called Geometric Interactive. So I'm not sure who that is, but apparently it's a pretty good game. It's gotten on Steam, it has a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
So
very nice.
And I think it's on Game Pass. So if you have, we have Game Pass, but if you have Game Pass out there, you can go check it out. I've thought about downloading it and trying it out. I just have too many other things I'm playing right now, so I haven't had a chance to check it out, because it's gotten really great reviews and the players, the gamers out there seem to really like it too. So, but most wanted game, looking at the most wanted game list, I would probably choose Final Fantasy VII Rebirth out of that list. I am looking forward to some of those games on there, but not as much as I am for that one, as far as the list is concerned. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a very good list, in my opinion, for, most anticipated.
It isn't. But
it's right now, there's still a lot to, come out. I mean, Resident Evil, Grand Theft Auto 6 is about to be announced here probably in a month. So that whole list could change pretty quick. I mean, the only game that, I don't think there's really a
Grand
game
Theft Auto 6's trailer will be out, but
Star Wars Outlaws, maybe, but we don't know enough about it now. Metal Gear Solid, I would put high up on the list, but outside of that, there's really not that much going on, at least as far as the things I'm excited for. I like Tekken, but it's not something I'm anticipating. It's not something I'm, waiting on. Death Stranding 2, I can walk other places. I don't need to walk there. Star Wars Outlaws, everything that we do actually know about it, which is very limited, looks good. But Vampires, the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, I don't give a crap about. Stalker 2, I'm tired of waiting. I was excited. I was really excited, but it's just, and my heart goes out to those people with all the war crap going on. But there's really nothing else out there except for Final Fantasy and Metal Gear Solid, that I really want to play. So,
yeah. And best visual design, I'm surprised Alan Wake's not on there on that list.
Yeah, I agree, because that game is so freaking gorgeous. Now, Baldur's Gate is no slouch by any means.
No, it's not.
But yeah, Alan Wake.
And it's fine that it's on the list. I'm just surprised. Like they have Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, Viewfinder, which I'm not familiar with that, Lies of P, and Street Fighter 6, which I'm like, I think they could take Starfield out of that list.
Well, see,
throw Alan Wake in there and be.
I think Starfield is fine on the list. Lies of P is a very pretty game, but I don't think it's all that in the bag of smack. I think you could replace that one with Alan Wake. I also think you could probably replace Hi-Fi Rush with it too. And Hi-Fi Rush is very, very pretty game, and it's fun as hell.
Let's take Street Fighter 6 out.
Okay, we'll agree. Street Fighter 6 hit the bricks.
Yeah, we'll put Alan Wake 2 in its place. There we go. All right. Well, you got anything else you want to say about this?
No, but don't forget to let the people know we're going to be having our Game of the Year coming up here fairly soon. We're doing the math. We're calculating things, make sure everything is right, and we're going to compare to see if we have kind of a similar list together. And I'm pretty sure my list will be the better of the three. So
we will see. We don't know what's on each other's lists. We won't know until we do the actual podcast. But yeah, stay tuned, everybody, because here in the next couple of weeks before the Game Awards, for sure, the video will be out before the Game Awards in December. When that happens, we will be doing our Game of the Year, what we think is our own Game of the Year, and what we think will win Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
Yep.
As a collective, but we're going to do our own personal Game of the Year, games that we thought were the best for us as an individual for the year, right? What we enjoyed the most. So stay tuned for that. Be excited for it. We're excited. You should be excited too. And if you're not excited, that's because you haven't subscribed. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and then you can get excited with us. Also, let us know down in the comments below, what's your Game of the Year? Or you can wait till we do ours and then put yours down there. But what do you think of the Golden Joysticks, PC gamers, Golden Joystick, what they've picked for their game, for the different categories they had and the games that won them? What do you think of that? And the ultimate game of the year being Baldur's Gate 3. Do you agree with that? Or is there another game that you think should have taken its spot? And as well as with the other categories that we went over that won, PlayStation 4 or PlayStation Resident Evil 4, is that a weird choice? I mean, it's a great game, but it's weird for that being the best PlayStation game. I thought that was just weird. But let us know down in the comments below. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.